Hi and welcome. Today what I want to do is talk through one simple finger picking pattern that's a really beautiful Travis picking pattern that's going to allow you to play lots of different styles of music, okay? I used to think back in the day when I'd listen to really good guitarists like Paul Simon, Lindsey Buckingham, James Taylor, Tommy Emmanuel, loads of players like that. I used to think, crikey, you must need to know a lot of different patterns. But you know what? The truth is you don't need to learn loads of different patterns. Instead, it's a good idea to have a good handful of patterns. Now, if you've been playing for a while and you really love fingerpicking, absolutely. I recommend that you learn up to about 10 different patterns because you're going to have endless fun. But if you just want to get started, if you want to build your confidence, this one simple Travis picking pattern is going to give you lots of fun. But I'm also going to show you how to adapt the pattern to play it in different styles as well. So if you're ever just sitting there and you think, I just want to jam, relax on the sofa and just play. I remember being in a band about 15 years ago, and the drummer, his name was Martin, and he started picking up my guitar when he was at mine and just having a little jam, and he started finger picking. He started doing this beautiful little Travis picking thing, and I was like, what? And I couldn't do that sort of stuff back then. I couldn't believe it. That's a drummer, it's crazy. But he played it really well, and he really kind of was one of the few people that opened my eyes to really going deep on that sort of style, and it's really fun. So this is the pattern, okay? Okay, I call it the London pattern. I'll teach it in my book, Fingerstyle 101. It's a book and a video course, but I'm going to teach it you now. If we play a G chord, we can play a 2-finger G, where we've got 3rd fret low E, 3rd fret B string. Use any fretting hand fingers you want. Okay, and we're going to break the pattern up into 2 halves. First of all, you're going to use your thumb on the low E and your middle finger on the B string. Okay, and that's fret 3 of the low E and B. Okay, but with the picking hand, thumb on low E, middle finger fret 3 of the B string. Then it's thumb on the D string. Okay, that's the first 2 plucks. Then it's index on the G. Okay, and that's it. That's your first half of the pattern. And then the second half is simply thumb on the low E, middle on the B, thumb on the D, index on the G. So you got 3 plucks and then 4 plucks. But the first one is for a beat long. So it's like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, so I'll go through it one more time. So thumb on the low E, middle on the B for beat 1. Then beat 2 is thumb on the D, index on the G. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then beat 3, thumb on the low E, middle on the B. Just that. Beat 4, thumb on the D, index on the G. So beat 3 and 4 is 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so all together, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and now without me talking. Try and get a nice balance between how loudly you pluck each string. You don't want any strings to be too loud. Try and get a nice bright tone as well. I sit in the classical position because it allows me to get better tone. If I sit like this, it's easy to scratch your fingers down the strings and get a weak tone. The classical position allows you to pluck across the strings, which gives you a brighter tone usually. Okay, so once you get good at that, you can start embellishing it, okay? First of all, what we're going to do is just look at it in a folky kind of way, like I did in the intro version, yeah? Okay, so the first bar, we just play the pattern. Fret 3 of the low E, fret 3 of the B. Then you can take that finger off the B string, so you got open B, but keep the 3rd fret of the low E. And you got melody in there straight away. Then you can add it back on to 3rd fret of the B. Then you can put a pinky on, fret 5 of the B string, yeah. Okay, or you could just swap your fingers around, use any finger for that fret 5 of the B string. So you get this. And later on you could change chords and do different things. A minor, C, back to G. all sorts. You can have loads of fun. But then you can do different stuff with this. You can even blues it up a little bit by playing seventh chords. You know, if we play C7, which is a C chord, but with pinky on third fret of the G string, and play the pattern there, but this time, instead of plucking the low E, the thumb will pluck the A string, because it's a 5-string chord. It's all about the root note, okay? So it's going to be this. And you can take that and move it up to fret 8. And then to fret 10. Blues it up a little bit like that, okay? It's a bit of a cool folky kind of blues pattern. So basically when you're doing that bluesy version, your thumb is on the A string, like I say, so instead of the low E. So just to recap this time, for A string chords, where the root note's on the A string, I should say, we got A and B string together with thumb and middle, then D, then G, which is the same as before, then A, then B, then D, then G. You go up to fret 8 with these two fingers, okay? You can go back to fret 3. Then fret 10 with these two fingers. Back to 8. And back to there. Do kind of bluesy stuff like that, speed it up, have a bit of fun, but then you can kind of like jazz it up a little bit if you want. If you know any minor 7th chords, you can play this pattern and give it a kind of a soulful jazzy vibe. So you could do like this sort of thing. There you go, you could do that, which is a D minor 7, a G 7th, and C major 7, which is kind of like a little bit of a 2-5-1 chord progression in jazz. But doesn't really sound overly jazzy, because we just kind of like took a bit of the jazz idea, a bit of the soul from jazz, put it with a bit of fingerpicking. You could even make it sound a little bit Chet Atkinsy kind of style if you do a bit of palm muting. You know, a little bit like that. So there's loads of different ways you can have fun with just one pattern. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do keep practicing it, and here's a little tip for you. Always work on your timing and your tone, okay? You can never get it perfect. Nobody gets it perfect. You know, perfection is one of those mythical things, isn't it, really? You've probably sat there in the past trying to get things absolutely rock solid. Just get it as good as you can and keep trying to improve it. If you just try and aim to improve one little thing every single day, whether it be the tone, whether it be the timing, you know, whether it be the way you count it, or whether it be the chord changes, you know, all these little things, everything adds up. But don't beat yourself up if you don't get it perfect, okay? Hopefully that helps. Right, so have a lot of fun with that. Keep experimenting, keep just playing about, keep having fun. If you want more from me, then you can check this out. Go to fingerstyle101.com/book and you can find out all about it. You can get a spiral bound version now, and it's really, really cool. That pattern there, you'll find on page 73 in the book. But before we get to that, there's loads of technical tips, things that are going to really help your playing, help you smooth it out, help your chord changes, fix bad habits, and all that sort of stuff, and have loads of fun. So you can check that out. But most of all, I hope you have a great day. Keep enjoying your playing. And if you want more from me, you can check out this video there. Right, thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.